Okay, let's look at my income report. It's been a year since I officially launched my business here in the US. If you don't know, I live here in California, and in August/September of last year, I started my business. I wanted to share with you the different revenue streams that make up my business, and I hope I get to do this long enough to share with you my year-on-year growth. I've grouped my income streams in 5 categories: content, digital products, royalties, consultation, affiliate earnings. Here's something to keep in mind as I take you through each of these. The accounting year in US is from January to December, but for the purpose of this video, I'm looking at September of last year to August of this year. So I've paid my taxes for some of these. I haven't taken payment on some stuff, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So just keep in mind as you look at this information, there's a lot of technical and financial things that we are not discussing today. I have a lot of affiliate sources like Amazon, Plottr, Arc Studio, Notion, and I haven't been very good at using them and promoting them. So I didn't have a substantial affiliate earning this year. In fact, I haven't even taken a payout yet from any of these places. So there's nothing to show in this category, but I wanted to mention it because it was part of my revenue strategy. Let's start with the smallest income stream, consultation, and that was 3% of my total income. I have a service called Pick My Brain where you can book a call with me and we can talk one-on-one about productivity, writing, and publishing. I priced it fairly low because I was testing things and seeing how the process would go. So I absorbed the cost as training cost and priced this service fairly low. That'll be changing next year in 2024. I also didn't open a lot of slots, and that reflects in the earnings. But next year I want to increase the revenue from this stream, and so I have to figure out a balance between pricing and the number of slots I open. Consultation I found to be very intensive work because by nature it is personalized. So I have to spend time researching so that I understand the questions and provide value when we get on the calls. And so there has to be a balance between the price and the number of calls. If you want to book a session, I'll have the link where you'll find all the information. There are just a few more slots open, so if you want to get on a call, this is a good time because the prices will increase come January. The next category is royalty. Unfortunately, I couldn't publish any new books this year, and I couldn't actively promote my existing books except for the 90-day plan workbook, which I promoted in the first half of this year. But I still had some royalties coming in this year. Overall income from book royalties was 7% of my total income. I want to dig in a little bit more into this data since you and I both are writers and authors, so you might find this interesting. Altogether, my books were sold in 10 Amazon marketplaces. And I wanted to specifically point this out because I get this question a lot. Does it make sense for Indian authors to publish their books with Amazon KDP? Most of my royalties coming from US, that is Amazon.com, and royalties from India, that's Amazon.in, is not a lot in my case, but every little bit counts, right? Let's slice this data differently and see what percentage of royalty came from the different formats. Ebook royalty was 31% of the total royalty. Paperback royalty was 23%. Hardback royalties were 10%. Kindle edition normalized page, that is KENP read, was 35%. That's your KU. KU income is a little tricky to calculate, so consider this part to be based on approximate values. You'll see that most of my royalties are coming from ebook and KU, and when I publish my books, I keep this information in mind. I often get questions about publishing paperbacks in India and how I do it. I've mentioned before that I use Pothi.com to publish my paperbacks in India. I get very rude comments sometimes because Pothi does not work for everybody, because we all have different requirements, right? That's why I was very keen on showing you this data. This is why I don't stress about publishing paperbacks in India. So far, it's a very small slice of my royalty, which I'll show you in a little bit. So I have to consider this data when I'm self-publishing and not use my resources and my budget disproportionately just to get paperbacks in India. Of course, with every book, the strategy is going to be different. But I wanted to give you a better understanding about why I don't stress about paperbacks. Overall, paperbacks generate 23% of my royalty. Paperback royalties in the Indian market from Amazon and Pothi are less than 0.5% of my royalties. And ebook royalties in the Indian market is 2% of my total royalties. KU royalties from Indian market is 8%. I hope that helps you see where I'm coming from when I share my experience. And I hope this also emphasizes on why you should be tracking all this information and looking at them when creating your self-publishing strategy. Alright, moving on to the next category, that is digital products. I couldn't get as many products live as I wanted to this year, but I learned a lot about my workflow and realistically know how much time it takes to create these products. And I'll consider these things when I'm pricing my products. If you don't know, I have a shop on my website where I sell digital products on self-publishing, writing, and productivity. I'll link the shop if you want to check it out. 17% of my income was from digital products. 64% of that was from India. So I have to consider that when I'm pricing my products. And 60% of the products sold was in publishing category, which I need to consider when I am creating new products. And the last category is content, which is the biggest source of income for me as of now. 74% of my income is coming from YouTube. So thank you for watching my videos, and specifically thank you for watching the ads shown on my videos. And with that, we come to the end of income report. So what are my goals from the second year in business? When I sit down in November to set my 2024 goals, I'll have more concrete information like timelines and figures and products. But right now, these are the things I want to work on. Add more sources of income like membership, workshop, things like that. Work on my affiliate side of things. I have been focusing a lot in creating free resources and products, but going forward, I want to focus my energy more on paid products and have a healthy mix of low priced products and high ticket items. I also want to be mindful of how I trade my time. But all in all, I want to grow my income overall, and a year from now, when I sit to make this video again, I hope I have better insights to share with you. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.